A number of my subscribers have asked me to teach them a step-by-step guide on how to make money on the stock market. Now, making money on the stock market is not hard at all. Now, it requires discipline. Discipline is not easy, but the steps to actually make money is not hard at all. To make money on the stock market, you got to understand the principle of cycles. Everything in this world, everything in the natural world comes in cycles. So if you can spot those cycles and you can harness them, you're going to profit. It doesn't matter if it's the stock market, if it's a relationship, a job, a business, whatever it is, everything comes in cycles. So a cycle is a rhythm. Even in a song, for a song to be melodious, it has to have a rhythm. So what are the cycles, the rhythms that we see in the stock market? First and foremost, you see that every company listed on the stock market by law has to have quarterly earning reports. So every quarter, that's in every 3-month period, they must give an earnings report to the public. So that's a cycle. Every 3 months we expect to see an earnings report from companies. So once you understand that, okay, that is one way to go. Now, another thing that you have to understand is that all over the world, it doesn't matter whether it's in the United States, Europe, or in Africa, or in Asia, companies, they rely on governments, Bureau of Labor and Statistics, in some countries called the Ministry of Labor, to release the job numbers, which comes every month, and also the consumer price index, which comes every month. Now, the job numbers and the consumer price index is an indicator of how healthy the economy is. And then the third pattern that we see is that these two data, the job numbers and the CPI, they influence the central bank or the reserve bank in that country to fix interest rates. So three cycles now. We've got earnings reports, which are quarterly. We've got the unemployment and the CPI, which are monthly, and then we've got the Federal Reserve Bank or the central bank giving interest rates, which is just like, it's sporadic. You can't actually put a time. So whenever they decide that they're going to intervene, they do. So once you understand these three patterns, what you start to do is that you prepare for them. If you go on the internet right now and you search this item, when is the most profitable time of making money on the stock market, you're going to see that it's April, July, and October. Why April, July, and October, you might ask? You see that quarterly reports come March, June, and September, as well as December. So obviously, the reason why April, July, and October are the best times to make money, whether it's the S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, or in the NASDAQ, you find out that it's because those are the months where companies are reporting their quarterly earnings. So if you want to make money on the stock market, you got to prepare for that. You've got to be very disciplined, gather your money. If you have to abstain from doing a lot of things that you enjoy, eventually you're going to enjoy, but you've got to prepare because you're going to need capital. You're going to need capital to invest on the stock market. Another thing that you have to do, you've got to invest money to make money. Now, if you wait for a company to release an earnings report and it's good, everybody's going to rush in. And once everybody rushes in, you're not going to be able to make money. You need to buy low and sell high. The only way you're going to be able to do that is to invest in a subscription service. Now, Zacks Investment Research, I use them. They're very expensive. But what they do is that the same reports that these companies file to the federal government before they give their earnings report, Zack reads them. And then they send them to you even before the company gives their quarterly report, so you can read them. You have to be like Charlie Munger. You got to be like Warren Buffett, and you don't have to be a voracious reader. So you read these reports, and then you can tell beforehand if the company is going to be having a good earnings report or a bad earnings report. And then once you have that information, then you buy the stock. So for instance, take a company like Amazon. You invest in a subscription service with Zacks Investment Research or whatever research subscription service that you can, and then you get the data that this company, Amazon, is going to do well in their quarterly reports. So you buy that stock while it's still down, because when you have a quarterly report due, every time, not some of the time, every time, the company, their stocks are going to go down. Why? Because there's anticipation, there's fear of the unknown. And where there's anticipation and fear of the unknown, stocks go down. So you buy the stocks at that point in time, and then you wait for them to give their earnings report. Once they give their earnings report and it's good, the stocks are going to explode. That's how you make money on the stock market. It's never going to change. That's how Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, and every other person that has made money in the stock market since the about 101-year history of the S&P 500, that's how they make money. So it's not hard at all. Now, you're going to need some apps. If you are in Africa, Europe, America, the tri-state region of Vietnam, Cambodia, China, and Thailand, it doesn't matter. You're going to need some apps. If you don't know the right apps to get for your country, subscribe to me on the X platform. I'm going to teach you. It's not hard at all. It's very easy. But going back to the cycles, once you understand that, it's just going to be a cyclical thing. It's just going to be a rhythmic thing. Every quarter, you're going to be making money. So be making money. So for investing, the bread and butter of my investing, every day I make money on cryptos. But you can't make money on the stock market every day. It's too risky. Crypto is risky, so you can put money that that you can afford to lose. But for the stock market, it is something that you can flow with the cycles. We don't have these cyclical periods in crypto, but we have it on the stock market. Once you understand these principles I just told you, earnings reports, job reports, CPI, interest rates, together the four of them determine whether the market is going to go up or whether the market is going to go down, and whether a stock, a company, is a good buy or not. Now, if you've watched this, you got questions arising from this, and you're a subscriber of mine on the X platform, ask a question there. I'm going to hold your hands. I'm going to tell you what apps to buy, what stock to buy, what cryptos to buy, when to sell, when to buy. But if you're not a subscriber of mine on the X platform, you're not going to get all this information. You might get this, but you're not going to get specifics that are going to help you make money. So I encourage you to subscribe to me, and subscribing is very easy. You go on X, search for me at Reno Omokri. On the top right hand corner of my profile, you're going to see a subscribe tab. Click on it, follow the prompts, and you're a subscriber. Now, this is the Apostle of Prosperity, Reno Omokri, saying God bless you.
But Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is